Sunshine ASMR. Hello and welcome back, or welcome to our little ASMR channel. It is so lovely to have you here. I hope you're having a great week. I'm doing alright. Not too bad. And so today, what I thought we could do was I could teach you the British Sign Language, so BSL alphabet. I am by no means a BSL teacher, but I did level 1 and then most of level 2, but then couldn't complete it for personal reasons a few years ago, and so I thought I would teach you the alphabet and explain how I've remembered what they mean. I'm a very visual person, and I think that's why I took to BSL, because it's obviously a visual language. But before I do that, I thought I could write out the alphabet, and then I found this sparkly pen, which I thought might give some tingles, and I thought I might trace the letters with some paintbrushes. But I'm going to do the vowels in pink, although I might write it in black and then go over in pink for the vowels to keep them separate. So we have A, symbols to memorise in a row. Like I know my ABCs, but as soon as I am out of the rhythm of the rhyme, I get lost. Anyway, so I am going to make the vowels pink, and there is a reason for that, which I will explain in a second when I'm starting to show you the alphabet in BSL. One thing I will say about BSL is, in the same way that we have like accents, there is a lot of regional signs even with like the letters, which means that if you've learnt them slightly different from me, that's fine. They're probably both correct. Yeah, so here is the alphabet. Lovely. Okay, now the reason why I wanted to make the vowels a different colour is because we are going to start on the vowels, because they are kind of grouped together when you're learning the alphabet. First of all, I should say that depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed will change these slightly. So I am right-handed, so my right hand will do like the gesturing, and my left hand is almost like the piece of paper, the book that I am using to signal on, if that makes sense. And the the vowels are all on one hand. So a lot of the other ones, they really look like the letter when you do them, whereas the vowels A, E, I, O, U are just one of your fingers. So it starts with A, E, I, O, U, which sounds very simple, but when you admit like finger spelling a word, remembering which finger is which when they're not A, E, I, O, U can be quite tricky. So there's certain ways that I've helped to remember. Obviously A is going to be the first one, you know that's the first letter in the alphabet, it's always going to be your thumb. U is always going to be the last one, you know that that's towards the end of the alphabet. O, I remember because it is your wedding ring finger, so it's like a band of a ring. And then once you know A, O, U, it is easy to remember the other two. I remember I because it's your longest finger, so it's like the one that looks most like a letter I. So A, E, I, O, U. Now I'm going to take you through the consonants. So B, B. So you've got A, B. B looks like the letter B each other. And I remember this because I visualise it as like this as the top of the G and this as the dip down of the G. So sort of like you've got your first hand is that top of the G and your second hand forming the flick, whether it's capital or a lowercase. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then H is, I think of it's like this, but I think of it because the sound your hands make together almost make a sound. H. And then we know this is I, the longer line of I, you know, the longest finger. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and then J goes from your top of your finger of like the I down to the flick, so you essentially draw a J in your hand. Remember, this is the paper, this is the pointing. J. Should I do the alphabet every time? I feel like it will help you remember, but also might get a bit boring. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and then K. You create a K visually with your fingers, so the side of the K, and then the kicking bit of the K. K. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Now L, M, N, all are very similar. So you mark an L, like I've drawn a L. So I know often L's can be like curved, can't they? If you're using what's the word? I can't remember. That's gonna annoy me. Not scripture. Like, anyway. But L, sometimes people write it like this, don't they? L, like little, you know. So L, and then M. So it's M, you've obviously got your 3 fingers, and it sort of looks like an M, doesn't it? M, M, and then you probably guessed it. N is 2 fingers, so it's like the 2 lines curved over. So L, M, N. And then remember O is this finger, like your wedding finger. O. And then we have P, which is, you just draw a P, and then we have Q, which again you draw, here's the circle of the Q, here's the line coming off the Q, and then we have R. So R is, like you've drawn, is almost like a flipped R, in the same way you have a flipped, I don't know if this is even showing up on the camera. You have a flipped R, like you have a back to front D, R, and then S can be confusing because it's similar to you, where you're using your pointy finger, but it's your 2 little fingers together. Some people do it just like that, like a little point. Some people curve over. I think I ended up doing this when I was learning because that's what my teacher wanted me to do. But just remember, it's your 2 little fingers that curl together, and then that reminded me of like the 2 S loops together. You know, like here's one little finger, here's another little finger, S. And then D, it's very important you use 1 finger to your hand, so you're drawing like, it's like a D, but it's this way, D. And then we have So your two fingers up, and you've made a Y shape, like a capital Y. And then finally we have Z, and Z is similar to D, apart from this time it's the whole thing, which sort of starts to look like a backward Z, doesn't it? But it's this way. So we have got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Obviously I'm not American, otherwise it would be Z, and it kind of annoys me that the rhyme should be C, but I won't say it because it's Z to me. So let's run through them together. So we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. So I have now taught you the BSL alphabet. Obviously most words in BSL are words you don't in a normal conversation, like as in you don't, if you're talking audibly, you're not going to start spelling out sounds. Oh, there's a very, very loud helicopter. I wonder if you can hear it. Yeah, if you're talking audibly, you're not going to just